Oh, Friday night again. Let's see. What to play? Could play Chrono Trigger. That's a lot of fun. Nah. Uh, Joust. Atari was better. Here we go. Now this one brings me back. So Ninja Gaiden is great, and it's one of my favorite games just to sit down and play for a little while. But I want to tell you more about my most nostalgic games. Not the best games I own, but the ones that bring back the fondest memories of when I was growing up. Now let's start off really simple. We started out with an Atari, we went from the Atari to the Nintendo, and then directly after the Nintendo, we didn't get the Super Nintendo, we got a Sega. And boy, did we have a great game to start out with. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is by far one of my most nostalgic games. I can sit here and I remember the casino level, and it was beautiful, and going up in the slot machines and da 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 da. Oh, you could do so much, and the speed, and it was wow, it was amazing, and it was bright, and it was colorful, and the music was great, and the boss battles were fun and creative. And my favorite part was making Sonic, right after he'd beat the boss, sit there and do the little tippy toe like he was about to fall off the edge. This right here, this is number 5 on my most nostalgic games. And it's a great game, and I'm sure a lot of you have the same memories I do. Number 4 on the list, Pokemon Blue for the Game Boy. Now this one right here, if you grew up when I did, you had Pokemon Mania too. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You couldn't help but have Pokemon. Now, there was a little rivalry. Which one was better? Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Red. Eventually, Pokemon Yellow came out, but he was kind of like the inbred cousin that nobody really wanted. But he was kind of cool and kind of whatever. So, what all did we have during that day? We had a Pokemon trading card game. We had Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow on the Game Boy. Then we had the Pokemon trading card game on Game Boy. And guess what? You could go to Burger King and they had golden Pokemon cards that came in cool little open up. I wish I had one to show you the big Pokeballs. You could go to Taco Bell and get Beanie Baby Pokemons. That's right. Remember Beanie Babies? Yeah. Yeah, there were Pokemon ones. Pokemon was everywhere. And you were nobody if you didn't play it. And I gotta tell you, I was glad that I got that game. Now, a game that started it all, and if you've watched my Christmas special, you know this one already. It's Final Fantasy for the NES. When we got our NES, it came with Super Mario 3. And we loved Super Mario 3. We eventually got The Legend of Zelda, and that was a groundbreaking game. It made a big impact on my life, but I never will forget my 6th birthday. This was what I got. My grandmother got me this game for my birthday and Christmas because I am a December baby, and that means you only get one gift. Times are hard, but hey, this was the perfect gift. And I can still remember the day. I can remember the little birthday party and everything. I mean, this was great. It was all my family was there, and I got this. I gotta tell you, I played it probably 10-15 hours before I realized you could save the game. I didn't know how to equip weapons and armors. I was pretty young back then, but I loved it. And I would play it all the time, and eventually I learned the mechanics. And I learned how it was, and I made it all the way to the water temple. And it was so hard and so challenging fighting the Kraken. And I gotta tell you, this one right here, I can't think about this game without smiling. It was such a special time in my life. Not many games do that anymore. Not many games can bring you to that point and just be so special at such a young age. Next game up on the list, NBA Jam. Now, me and my buddy, we grew up on this, and I gotta tell you, we had so much fun playing this. I was so excited when it came out on the Sega Genesis. We ate so many quarters at the arcade playing it there. And to finally be able to take it home and play it at home on our own TV. It didn't cost us anything else. Just me and my buddy Corey slamming away. We was either playing as Phoenix or we was playing as Chicago. There's no Michael Jordan, which always made me feel weird about it because I wanted to play as Jordan just like every kid did. But playing as Barkley, oh, it was great. I gotta tell you, it's some of my best memories growing up playing two-player games. And there's not a whole lot more you can say about that. So when it comes down to it, two-player experience in our house was NBA Jam. Alright, this is it. The number one game. 1997. I was a little depressed at the time, and I didn't know what to do. I'll be honest, I was picked on a lot in school, and it didn't help out. I was in a lot of the wrong crowds. I didn't have a lot of friends. But there was one thing that I wanted. One thing that I thought would just make everything right. And it required a PlayStation. There were TV ads. I'd seen a few TV ads, but I'd never seen full-blown TV ads like this. Beautiful cutscenes, awesome music, grand scale game. There were billboards, there were advertisements on the buses. At the bus station there was little standees there and the little advertisement there. I mean, it was everywhere. It was on Dr. Pepper boxes. You couldn't escape it, and I couldn't get it out of my head. I didn't own a PlayStation. I don't even know if we could afford a PlayStation at the time, but there was one game that I had to have, and it meant I had to have a PlayStation. This right here, most nostalgic game. I'm not going to be cheesy and say this game saved my life, but I am going to say that at a very, very bad point in my life, this game came around. I was a huge fan of Final Fantasy 1, and we didn't get a Super Nintendo until very, very late. I got a Super Nintendo in '96, so I never got around to playing Final Fantasy 4 or Final Fantasy 6. So I went straight from 1 to this. This was a Christmas present. I was very confused around Christmas. I wanted it so bad, and I dropped hints. I didn't drop hints. I blatantly said, I don't want anything. I just want this. Just want this. Well, Christmas rolls around, and I see a stack of CDs because I got a CD player a year or two before. So I was like, okay, I know those are CDs. Okay. Well, I'll start opening up. And I see one that looks like a double. I didn't think much about it. But first thing I opened up is Jet Moto for the PlayStation. I don't own a PlayStation. Kind of bummed me out a little bit, but I said whatever. I thanked my sister for getting it for me. And then the next game I opened up was this. I also got NBA Live 98, but I didn't play it much because I had this. I played this game for a week and a half straight. And then I turned the game off and turned it back on later just to find out you need a memory card. That's right, nobody told me about memory cards. I didn't know anything about a memory card, but yeah. And I gotta tell you, you can look at this old beat up strategy guide with the handwritten notes in it. The bindings tore up. The pages are wore out. They're all still there. But this game right here, when it came out in '97, it meant a lot. It's nearly 2017. I'm waiting on a remake for it. It still means a lot. I can't tell you how many hundreds of hours I've got in this game. I know it's over 1,000. I know it is. Because I've beaten this game so many times. I beat it at least once a year. At least. Sometimes more than that. And that's it. That's the most nostalgic games I have. Each one of these, no matter what they were, no matter when they were, They bring me back to special times in my life, and I'm thankful for that. Video games are good for you, despite what anyone says. They are works of art, and they're great memories. I can remember friendships I had, or, well, the lack of friendships I had. I can remember where it was, what the room smelled like. I can remember everything about it every time I play these. Every time I take them off the shelf, I'm reminded of good times that I had playing them. I'm reminded of special moments in my life. So I'd like to extend it out to you. What's your most nostalgic games? And I'd also like to give a special shout out to Will's video game addiction. He put an open tag out there for a reply to his most nostalgic game videos. I'm doing the same now. This is Gizmo at Gizmo's Game Lounge. Y'all keep it cool.